All right, I chose this story today because tariffs don't just change trade, they change the cost of everyday life. One decision at the top can ripple through supply chains, jobs, and prices until the average person feels trapped and confused about why everything suddenly got harder. Watch this carefully because the pattern repeats, and the people who recognize it early have options.
The tariff hit overnight, like a power cut. No vote, no warning, no debate. Ports, factories, and kitchens felt it first. A forgotten statute woke up. Section 122, Trade Act of 1974. Emergency authority, fast and blunt. A surcharge at the border changes everything downstream. Invoices rewrite themselves in real time. Profit margins evaporate without a sound. Effective tariff rates surged above 20%. That's a level the modern world doesn't recognize. The last time it felt normal was the 1930s. Paul Krugman called it Smoot-Hawley 2.0, not as an insult, as a diagnosis, a warning label from history. Because tariff walls don't stay local. They trigger reflexes in other capitals, and reflexes become cascades. In 1929, America was wounded, not dead. Recovery was possible, fragile, real. Then policy infected the wound. The crash was the wound. The tariff wall was the infection. Infections spread through systems. October 1929, stocks collapsed and confidence evaporated. But ships still sailed and factories still breathed. The economy still had oxygen. Credit was damaged, yet trade could have carried the weight. Exports could have kept payrolls alive. Imports could have kept prices stable. Then the letter arrived, public and unmistakable. 1,028 economists signed their names. They begged Congress to stop. They warned that retaliation would be automatic. Tariffs invite tariffs, every time. And the bill would be paid in jobs. Their message was not theory. It was arithmetic, written in plain English. Cut trade, cut income, cut confidence. Politics ignored arithmetic and chose theater. Senator Reed Smoot pressed forward anyway. Congressman Willis Hawley followed. The bill hardened as amendments piled on. Each industry wanted its own shield. The shield became a wall. It targeted over 20,000 imported goods. Not a tweak, an axe. A price wall at the border. June 17, 1930, the signature arrived. Herbert Hoover signed with a calm pen. The ink changed everything. Tariffs rose to an average near 45 to 50%, a historic jump in the middle of fragility, a gamble with the world economy. Within months, countries answered back. Not one, not two, but dozens. Retaliation became policy. 24 countries moved to protect themselves. Tariffs, quotas, restrictions, boycotts. Pride replaced trade. Orders vanished and warehouses filled. Prices fell, wages followed, hours disappeared. The lifeline snapped. U.S. imports fell by roughly 2/3. U.S. exports fell by more than half. And the world shrank in response. Global trade collapsed by about 65% by 1934. Ships stopped moving like blood through arteries. The system went cold. Unemployment hit 25% in the United States. 1 in 4 workers idle. A nation trapped in waiting rooms. Banks failed by the thousands as cash dried up. When trade dies, cash flow dies. Credit dies next. Families sold jewelry, then furniture, then futures. Soup lines lengthened as winters hardened. Misery became routine. The policy didn't cause the crash. It turned a crash into a decade. It made the downturn contagious.
Hey, real quick, if you're watching this and realizing how fast economic shocks spread from policy on into everyday life, that's exactly why this course exists. A real estate downturn doesn't happen in isolation. It's connected to credit, jobs, inflation, and sentiment. If you want to be positioned to survive it and profit from it instead of getting caught late, grab the Crash Resistance Bundle for real estate. Link's right down below. And now let's get back to the video.
Now, step further back to Britain after Napoleon. 1815, war ends, fear stays. Elites choose control. Parliament passed the Corn Laws to protect landowners. Tariffs on imported grain. A wall built from bread. Bread prices climbed, then stuck. Working families paid more, so rent stayed high. Protection enriched the few. Hunger is not abstract when the staple is taxed. It is wages eaten by prices. It is children growing quieter. Then 1845, the potato failed in Ireland. Famine began and time ran out. Cheap food couldn't flood in quickly. 1 million died and millions fled. Policy didn't start the blight, but it narrowed the escape. In 1846, repeal finally arrived. The wall fell, commerce resumed. Britain's free trade century began. The lesson was brutal and simple. Protectionism concentrates benefit and spreads pain. Free trade built the empire that tariffs endangered. The pattern repeats like a clock. Economic stress, political pressure, tariff walls. Then trade collapses and power shifts. Now return to early 2026. Section 122 is invoked in real time. Temporary by law, immediate in impact. Officials speak of international payments problems. Businesses hear cost shock. Households hear it at checkout. The effective rate above 20% is a flare, a signal to every trading partner, a reason to build exits. Supply chains were already strained after COVID. One missing part stops a line. One tariff reroutes a port. Companies don't wait for clarity. They rewrite sourcing maps overnight. They cancel orders quietly. Allies hear the message beneath the paperwork. Deals can change without warning, so alternatives get built. Canada moved fast, widening options toward China, a pivot made under pressure, a hedge written in diplomacy. Europe prepared counter tariffs of its own. Tech, agriculture, energy are on the table. Targets chosen to sting and signal. Mexico looks for corridors that reduce exposure. Japan and South Korea explore bilateral paths. Everyone draws new maps. This is how systems fracture in real time. Invoices, delays, substitutions, fear. Trust breaks quietly. Consumers pay without seeing the line item. Tariffs hide inside receipts. Inflation gets blamed for everything. Some estimates put the household burden in the thousands per year, not as a single bill, but as bleed, a slow tax in disguise. In the 1930s, tariffs strangled trade volume. Now they also strangle timing. Planning dies first, investment dies next. And once investment hesitates, jobs follow. Hours get cut before layoffs hit headlines. Fear spreads faster than facts. Remember the 1,028 economists? They warned and they were ignored. Some acted anyway. A few moved early before the crowd understood. Out of American equities, into gold, foreign bonds, farmland. In 1934, gold was revalued by decree, $20.67 to $35 an ounce. Policy moved wealth overnight. Meanwhile, the Dow fell about 89% peak to trough. It fully recovered in 1954, 25 years to break even. That is what tariff walls can do to time. They steal years, not just dollars. They turn shocks into eras. The warnings are back and the slogans are new, but the deaf ears sound familiar. When the next letter is ignored, who pays the price? And here is the haunting question history leaves behind. If 1,028 experts begged them to stop in 1930, and they didn't, what makes you think they'll listen now?